Take two. I am mad because somebody is calling me by my first name for my clinic and I don't like it. Let me look at my eBay and see, let's see if I can do it on here. If I go to an item and it is revised, let's see what the maximum handling time can be because I need more than 30 days. Let's see. I'm so mad, I just got myself worked up. Oh shoot, it's only 30 days. I need more than 30 days. Oh, what a nightmare. I need like... Alright. That's kind of a problem. So if you literally close your store for more than 30 days, they should at least give you a month, 31 days. Then you're gonna have... You don't have to ship it within 30 days, but you have to handle it. So the day before I leave, I need to push stop. And then the day that I get back is 2 days. Oh no, what a nightmare. The only thing you can do, really, is to get the weight and size right, and put that in to... it should be right before you list your listing live. Sorry if you can't hear me, there's someone under me. So I'm trying to be quiet, I'm not projecting my voice. I want to say... is it 2 days that you have? Business days? If you handle the package, okay, let's say that I'm going to be back in town. Let's say I leave town today and I'm going to be back on Saturday. And something sells as soon as I drive away. Let's say Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Okay. Today's Thursday, tomorrow's Friday. 2 business days. If I was out of town overnight, I'd have to get online. So is it 48 hours, 24 hours handling time? So I need to look that up. Because if I went out of town, as soon as I got out of town, something sold, would I need to get it handled by 24 hours? So let's say it's 12 o'clock today, something sells. Do I need it to be handled by tomorrow? So my handling time is the handling time. But their handling time is I print the label. Oh, so it'd be anything that sells that first week. That would be the problem area. So after the first few days, it wouldn't be. So you're like, they're trying to like bump up the store, and something likely will sell. That's happened before because you mess with the algorithm. So have it be. So find out what their handling time is. If my handling time is three business days, but when I actually print and pay for the shipping, how much time do I have from my handling time to do that, and then from my handling time to their mandatory shipping time? Let's find out together. This is not fun right now. I just got myself worked up about my clinic, and I was like, you are totally wasting time. I mean, you could have had 2 appointments just in the phone call. You just wasted time and energy with someone, you could have just charged for that as a visit, like, but they didn't sign my intake paperwork. I'm like, oh my god, too much information. I was thrown off guard because the email and voice message is saying that I'm out of the office, and I answered it because it came up as a number that looked like someone I correspond with. Alright, so let's just go to Google. How much time, I'll say, how much time do I have between the handling time and shipping time? Alright, let's see if I can find it. Alright, so this is, 30 business, is it 30 business days? Oh, did I say business days? Because then that would keep your weekends. Okay. Alright, so this is not from eBay. This is from somebody else. Okay. The number of days between when you receive payment for an item and when your package is scanned by your shipping carrier. Really? It says you have the option to include Saturdays and or Sundays if you ship on those days. Okay, so eBay is saying if you choose one day, handling your sold item should be prepped, packaged, and scanned by the following day at 11:59 p.m. in your local time zone. If it's not, your item could be delivered late, making your buyer dissatisfied and your seller ratings could be impacted. They will be impacted. They do. I've put stuff in the Dropbox at the post office, and it was in PDX, Portland to California. And I put it in, like, on the way to work, I think, like, at 10 a.m. I don't know when it was. Or maybe at my lunch break at noon or something. And it got shipped to Seattle, I think, or somewhere in Washington State, and it got scanned at, like, I think it was 2 a.m. or 12:10 a.m. or something like that, and I got a defect. And if I had taken it in to the post office and had them scan it, it would have been okay. Alright, so this tells me nothing. So other times I was on eBay, I got more answers from the community question and answer than I did from actually eBay. What I don't understand. Alright, so if you choose one day handling, your sold item should be prepped, packaged, and scanned by 11:59 p.m. the following day. So if I have one day handling, I need it before midnight tomorrow. If I have 2-day handling, business hours would be Monday, 11:59 p.m. Because it's like, if eBay's gonna not, they don't ask me if I have Saturday and Sunday as my handling time. So that's kind of weird, because I don't want to assume, but I'm assuming that if I charge $10, that doesn't mean I need it shipped by Saturday. But assume nothing. So edit fields, handling time. So that did make a difference with business days. I wanted to do different playlists, and I wanted to do this for a while. I don't know if I should call it news, because I don't want it to be like, I want it to be news, but I don't want it to be titled that. I had another title that I liked, and I forgot what that was. So, having, say, 3 stories. Let's write this down. Having 3 stories would be, I didn't know if I should combine financial and business as one, and then like environment or earthly news, and then a wild card. So before I get into this, I've shared in the past about working by myself for my business, and I've shared that when I go against my plans, that things go out of control. For instance, I have a 3-hour meeting one day, and I didn't see it in my schedule, and I allowed some people to say that I was available that day for in-person visit, and it's likely going to be during the time of this meeting, or it's going to be during rush hour on a Friday where I have to travel from far away and come to a potential bottleneck. It's always a bottleneck, but it's dependent on whether the traffic is actually busy and backed up or not. So I am kicking myself, and I'm trying to get set up for my trip, and it is causing so much anxiety that I'm having a hard time, because I was on a roll with my work, and I was also knowing that I have a few more hours on several days a week to focus on my work, including my store, so I can do that typing stuff, get up, move around, make food, do this, and not have a lot of chaos. And I can also, when I get to checking stuff off my list, I'll be anxious, like I told you, right? And why? Because people said you can't, and then I'll start to get closer to my ideal time of day, and then I will get super motivated, super like, yeah, cheering myself on. And then I'll be like, okay, now I saw some success. I said I was going to do this, and this, and this, and I did this, and this, or I called this place, and this place, and did what I was supposed to do. And then things seem to fall apart, and I don't want to blame other people, because even if it is someone else's fault for distracting me with events, I'm the one that's putting up with it. I mean, taxes, that could be another story, because if I didn't do it, that would be a problem area. Being true to thine own self, whatever thine means. I always say mine own self, but that is something that needs to be addressed, because just like if I was going to class, someone else's classes, and I knew what was in the schedule, when the quizzes are and exams are, when the papers are due, when the end of the term dates are, when the last class is, which may be before the end of the term, when the grades are going to come out. There could be, it's like the syllabus in my life, there could be a snow day. Someone could be out sick. They could postpone a quiz because of the snow day, or because we didn't get to the curriculum that was supposed to be tested on, quizzed on. I can have my own personal issue, flat tire on the way to class, or get called to a birth. So things are not always in cement, but this is a plan that you want to stick to because it also involves other people and other entities. It involves the use of buildings and rooms. It involves the use of vehicles. It involves money. Anything I feel like you want to do involves money and effort. Exertion, I guess. You exert energy, you need to eat. Eating is hard to do for free in our world, at least where I live. So, having let's write it down. The syllabus of my life. Syllabi. And if I know that I have 16 courses and that everything has a timeline and priority, if this class is at 7:30 in the morning and this is at 3, I'm not going to go to 3 o'clock first and then the 7. This is 7:30 is impossible. You need to do this stuff in order, and it's up to me outside of class to do the homework and make my own. Never take a piece of lined paper, block out, okay, I have this class, this one's pink, this one's blue, this one's green, I got a lab here, I gotta travel to clinic here, like try to colorize things. And let's go back to the news channel. I just wanted to throw that out there because I need to stick to my plan. And that includes dental and doctor's appointments. And for Pete's sakes, if we know we have a conflict, let's straighten those out and get it together. I was going to get on here with you guys and do the paperwork that I need to go get minority disadvantaged and woman business enterprise for Maryland. It's expiring soon. I need to get on that ASAP because I got to get some stuff notarized. I did work on my resume last night, which was kind of a fluke to oh yeah, something, I don't know, someone was asking about resumes or something. Actually, you need to move around with the medical on top. Let's do that. Let's do that together. Let's see. This is so embarrassing. I do not like seeing my resume. I'm not happy about it. Let's see, how many pages is 5 pages? Good God, it doesn't even have everything on it. It literally does not have everything on it. So, let's just start by copying and pasting because I had a bad experience. Let's just copy and paste it, and then when it copies and pastes, I'll go ahead and delete the other one. Some things you can get back, but on my EHR I haven't figured out. I accidentally pushed copy twice, so they copied a huge chunk of the chart, and I went to move it, and I actually accidentally pushed Control-C instead of Control-V because they're right next to each other, and my stubby fingers, I cannot for the life of me figure that out. So I have why did I think I have them? I didn't finish it. I have on my resume that I have the minority business. I don't think I finished the application. Oh my God, what if I do? Okay, it says peer ranger. Oh my God, it's spelled wrong. Alright, let's save that and go back to this. So financial business, if I were to do it as a separate video, or for the news, the 3 areas I would hope to have it: flashcards, index cards, so I could like stay on track and just talk about that. So I was kind of like, oh, what about the WeWork? Maybe I can pull that up. I didn't pull anything up. I just thought about it this morning. So for a few months, I've been seeing the changes with the WeWork stock. I've been seeing the reverse. Is it a reverse? Whatever it is, I think it's like if I had 100 stock, they would make it like you have 1. So instead of 100 stocks at like 7 cents each, they make it like 1 at like $7 or whatever. I'm sorry if I did the math wrong. But they did some kind of thing. I want to say about 6 weeks ago. Don't quote me on that because this is just a prototype. I've seen the articles from the past that were about the management and different policies and lawsuits, and I was pretty concerned because their model had worked with for me since I don't know if it was 2020 or 2021, and I feel like because it's different tiers of leasing space that's super flexible and global, I really like that compared to a membership model. If I had the money, I would maybe look into a membership model. If I had the money, I would do it. See, I'm on a tangent. I would do like a dedicated office space, but it's hard to pay $3,000 a month for a 3-foot by 5-foot room. Not impossible for a lot of folks, but for me, that's just too much. A windowless room. Anyways, so there's incorrect news about WeWork, about them shutting down everything. Like, oh, what's going on? New York's struggling. What I didn't like about some of the articles that I've read were they only discussed New York or New York City. And I'm like, this is, as far as I know, global. You know, I had thought from my own research that the Baltimore, is there 2 in Baltimore? 2 in Baltimore, 3 in Maryland, 2 in Baltimore. I had thought 1 was closed, but I think I got that wrong. So let's see, how would I do this as a news story? I actually have stuff pulled up. The stocks have changed. There's a lot of news and speculation about what's going on in New York City. And last week they did pull up. They've been putting through a lot of paperwork and amendments of paperwork for bankruptcy. I haven't heard anything or I haven't read anything if it's out there since last week. So I don't know what process of bankruptcy they've gone through or if that is been withdrawn or anything. So as for this prototype talking through it, I would need to get more details on what I can find and the dates of when I found that information so that you guys would know that if I brought up something 2 weeks ago and you go look and find something today, you know to look. You say, oh, well, what's changed since then, or what article is that, and how reputable is it? Not just saying, oh, this article says this, but like, such and such says this. So you can try to look and see if that's going to be potentially more accurate. But like I do with life and news, you can get a different take on it, and you can also get typos or just straight up like the information that they got it from might have been flawed and since it's been corrected, and theirs might not be corrected. So take it with a grain of salt. Financial and business would, I guess it would include banking things, bank closures, stores, mergers, and then, I mean, that's why, like, financial seems like business so much. What if I wanted to actually talk about business, like how to start your own business. So that's why kind of that title for that #1 spot. I mean, maybe you could stay like that and say, instead of talking about, someone else's business, talk about your business, or talk about your neighbor's business. Maybe they're making too much noise. I don't know. The home business. 2, environment, earthy. So again, this is a prototype. It was shared to me by my partner, these different ticks that are here in the U.S., in the world, including in Maryland. So the article had mentioned using the permethrin, excuse me if I said that wrong, on your clothing. And it didn't clarify how much, but kind of like speculating, like, I'm not going to go wash my clothes in it, but there's a ton of ticks here, and it's creepy walking around, seeing them crawling on grass that's dangling in the path, and taking your boots off. 2 hours later, you see this tick crawling up. Or on you, or on your pants, or in your hair, to make sure that you can get up on vines and trees. So you're walking through the woods, they could get in your hair. Who even knows? I don't even have a dog or a cat right now, so good grief, your animal runs. I've had it with my dog, and it was one of the most nightmarish. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if I have Lyme disease. Let's just see. I'm getting on a tangent. So I bring in an unbiased state, because I don't have any facts in front of me, so I need to make sure I'm more facts. I can do facts, and I can give you how I'm dealing with it. So let's look at Arkansas. Trying to see what tick-borne illness. So this healthy.arkansas.gov. Rocky Mountain spotted fever, Rocky Mountain spotted fever. Oh my god, this gives me the heebie-jeebies. Okay, let's move on. Oh, the wild card. So it could be anything. I guess it could be like recipes. It could be good news. Oh, here's my wild card. Email from Maryland. Let's see. It was about traveling through next week, which is Thanksgiving. I was complaining about people decorating and getting ready and all these Christmassy things, but I know so much happens the day after Thanksgiving, which is a little more than a week. So we're going to see if I can find Maryland Transportation. This is from the government. You want to be safely arriving at your destination and, of course, home. One of the busiest travel weeks of the year. This was sent out this morning to my email. So days and times to avoid the Bay Bridge. Westbound, eastbound, westbound, and then I-95. It's got a suggested when to avoid it. And Middleton Bridge, US 301. So that's, I'm thinking it ends up in Delaware. Tolls. Oh, here's something interesting, guys. So pay by plate, you can use the Easy Pass, which we have. If you have the Easy Pass on auto debit, be careful and make sure you have your $25 in your account, because it's supposed to be $6, but it wasn't end up with Easy Pass $2. I don't even know what it is. There was a big mess with that, but that's different news. If using a rental vehicle over the holiday, you can add vehicle information temporarily to an Easy Pass or pay by plate account. That's good to know. Otherwise, be sure to inquire with the rental car company before traveling a route that includes a toll facility. And then there's a lot of safety rules, leave plenty of time. When there's the lane closures, they have in the big X's and these big gates that open and close. So for me, my personal take, give credit to Maryland, Malta, MLTA, Maryland, what's the O? Transportation Authority. What is the L? I'm saying it wrong. They have Malta for notary. It's just MDTA, sorry. 2020 or 2021, when whatever year it was, the Pennsylvania, Virginia, Virginia, the roads closed down for days, and they didn't set up warnings. They didn't block off the road. People got to a place, people couldn't drive. They got stuck. They're spinning on ice. They eventually shut down the road with all these cars on it, and they shut down the exits. So let's look that up. I saw a video. It almost looked like Canada. I'm not sure where it was because I don't think I meant to click on it. Actually, I think I did. It had a bunch of cars spinning out and then going backwards and crashing into other cars on the street. Which sucks because there's like all the open space in the middle of the street. You kind of wished your car would have just come to rest in the middle of the street. Why did it have to hit one car, domino all the other cars? I hope you can hear me. There was a very smiley lady saying, "We were stuck in traffic for 8 hours. We had no food," and her and another fellow, "We had no food, no water, nothing," they said. And I would frequently make a point to put water in the cars and snacks in the cars, toilet paper, a raincoat, a coat. We used to have socks, but that was because I was trying to hand them out to panhandlers, but gloves, like medications, like I didn't have like my daily one, maybe like a expired EpiPen, which I wish I didn't have. I shouldn't have an expired EpiPen, I should have a good one, but what is it that you can do? But what happens when your car is a mess and you or someone else cleans all this stuff out and it's not in your car anymore? And you say, "Oh, well, it's November 16th, let's just drive to pick something up from Craigslist." And if you get stuck up in a mountain pass, you get stuck, and it's not like you can turn around or take the next. Everyone starts to take the next exit and just be on the lowdown, Emergency blankets, regular blankets, hats, gloves, battery chargers, solar chargers, food. Like, what if you just literally filled your old lunchbox with granola bars and snacks? Like, not fruit, not stuff. Actually, I used to keep fruit in my car in the wintertime in Portland because I was always traveling. Or even here, I have kept a lunchbox in the car, but it was for going to births because it was cold. It was like 30-something degrees, so I just kept it in there. On hot days, you have a lunchbox in the back seat, like some apples and stuff, like you better get that stuff out. And then you have the problem with your water bottles freezing, and I'm like, I know it's warm because I just saw a bug come to the window. Your water bottle's freezing. Your water's getting sun and heat damage and plastic. So there are, I'll show you guys these. I have, that was not smart, by the way. I almost fell out of there. I have this. It is already been used. This is near impossible for me to open when it's all over. That was really dangerous, guys. Oh, I'm not going to do that again. It's easy now. I don't like aluminum. It's not stainless steel. But can you get a very clean or brand new bottle that's easy to open, that you could keep, that doesn't have the plastic, but you could switch stuff out. It's expensive, like a 6-pack of water and a gallon or 2, and maybe some tap water that's not going to leak for your radiator and stuff. Or you want radiator fluid, but in the summer you want to be able to make sure you have something, and then you every 2 weeks maybe switch it out with the old and with the new. Consume that, because I've had water in the car, a whole case of water that's been in there since I had my landing jobs, and I went through a lot of summer heat, and I'm scared. And you can always dump it around trees or water your plants and hope that your plants. I've done it only once where I've absorbed plastic. So let's look that up, and I'm gonna go to my I'm gonna log off and get to my eBay store, because I need to shake off this energy that I got by, I was caught off guard. I have my phone going to my patient's voicemail to know that I'm out of the office, and that when I'm accepting patients, and I was thrown off guard. So I have, was it Virginia? Closure. I don't know about due to, I'll say IC conditions highway. Let's see if I can find that. I'm so sorry, it was last year. But it was January of last year, so almost 2 years ago, yeah. So January 4th, I hope there's no noise on this. Let me pause you. Interstate 95, this is from NBC News, by Chantal De Silva and Alicia Fieldstadt and Dennis Romero. This picture of these cars looks horrible. So Interstate 95 is open more than a day. I don't know if this is the same accident. More than a day after a crash brought the East Coast Main North-South road to a halt and stranded drivers. The Virginia Department of Transportation announced at 8:40 p.m. Tuesday that the interstate reopened after being closed for emergency response, and all disabled vehicles were removed. 50-mile closure in Fredericksburg area was triggered Monday morning by a big rig accident and vehicles stalling in the freezing temperatures. Left some motorists stuck without fuel or access to supplies or access to fuel. Is this the one? Kane tweeted Tuesday afternoon that he had been stuck in traffic for 27 hours before making it to his office. 27 hours on the road from Richmond to D.C. Very happy to be back in the capital and working on voting rights legislation this afternoon. 27 hours. Wasn't there one that was more than that? Like days? Like, does anyone try to back up out of the shoulder, I'll be like, oh my god. Like, all the back cars stop backing up one at a time. I mean, you got tens of thousands of cars. Alright, I don't know. I don't want to get stuck with anything noisy coming on. At the same time, multiple disabled tractor trailers shut down all but one northbound lane. At least 6 big rigs were involved in a crash before noon Monday. So, I don't know if this is the same one, but let's say you're traveling a normally traveled route. I've taken normal traveled routes. Oh, they should maintain the roads. Oh, if something happens, they know they have to keep this road open. Oh, they know that could be a route for ambulances and different, things. And before 2022, before this happened, if this is the same one, I'm thinking, in Portland, the roads were shut down, and I went from one place back with a battery that was dead on my car, almost like this far from being dead, and my GPS said get on I-5 to, I don't know if it said to get to 84, but I started to get on the highway, and I kept that GPS on. Get on I-5, get on I-5, get on I-5. And I said, I don't trust I-5. I'm going to get on. I had my kids in the back. I'm going to get on a surface street. And it took me, I went to my tutor's house. It took me less than 30 minutes to get to our house on the east side, from north to southeast. And it took me at least 4 hours to get home. This happened more than once. I had that happen from downtown. It took me over 4 hours to go about 5 miles. Maybe 6, maybe 4. I think it was more like 4 to 6 miles away. Over 4 hours. What a nightmare. Keep gas in your car and your tank. Windshield wiper fluid, blankets, paper towels. I had to shut the defrost off and use whatever I had. Be careful of your doors. Like, if you had to get out and the battery stalled, be careful that something doesn't happen where your doors automatically lock. Like, different things, car locks do weird things. Alarms go off when your car is fussy. So from southeast back to north, the GPS said to get on the freeway, and I said, I don't know, I'm going to take what I heard on the radio called surface streets. I'm going to stay on these surface streets, and I'm going to go from A to B. And if something were to come up, I can pull off or run into Burgerville or something, use the bathroom. I was thinking I think about it sometimes after that, like, what do people do to abandon their cars on the highway? Do they just walk up the overpass and rent a hotel for the night, or like have someone come and get them in an SUV and just deal with their car after it gets towed? But because they have to be able to have emergency vehicles, they're going to start towing it after the incident, though. So the incident lasted 8 hours, 16 hours, 3 days. What do you see on your GPS? You know where you're going, but what do you see on your GPS? Road closed, crash? So, oh, looks like a fender bender. It shouldn't be. By the time I get there, it won't be that. But what do you want to look into? Seeing 6 tractor trailers going up icy bridge. Going to the surface street resulted in a lot of backed up traffic, a lot of red lights. You're not getting through the green light, and then you're double stopped by the red light. Trucks stopped to put chains on their tires. Car issues. I had gone into Broadway Toyota. I told my battery's dying. They said, no, it's not, it's fine. I said, my battery's dying. But it took me, 10 or so minutes of driving to get to them, so they probably had charged itself. And then sure enough, I got to my tutor's house, I watched it start snowing, but I needed to study biochem so I could be a doctor. So instead of saying, hey, it's starting to snow, it could be like 3 snowflakes, and that's all the snow you see all year. Or I said, I have to pass this remediation test. And so I stayed for hours. And when I left, there was a lot of snow. And I said, oh no. And I went to do something, open the window, or and it wouldn't go up. So I pulled over on the side of the road. I was like, oh my god, what is wrong? And then the dash light started dimming, and I said, oh no, that was weird. I was like, why don't I check the car to get it? Battery, they said the battery's fine. I know the battery's dead. Then I drove for a while until I got on MLK, or McLaughlin to MLK, and then I ended up radio on, heater on, defrost on, windshield wipers on, lights on. It ended up where everything went off because the lights started flickering, everything was dying because I wasn't running the motor, I was idling and it wasn't charging the battery good enough, and it was really cold and dark at this point. And right before I left the tutor's house, I went to the trunk and got out the blankets and the picnic basket that I packed. I don't even know. Whatever. I had a picnic basket packed. I put that in the back seat with the kids. So lights off, and I probably made everyone go pee before we left. And I hate asking people to use their personal bathrooms or going into public bathroom, but I say, you know what? I've been stuck before, even when it's not snowing icy. So it might be too much what I just said, but in some situations like these folks, 27 hours, it might be too little. What if you had a bucket potty with toilet paper and you had gallons of water? It's not like they can really drive up and like pass out water, rolls of toilet paper and food, and one of the guys, if it wasn't this event, they gave people a bunch of bread from their truck, and you're gonna have your cell phone battery die. You're gonna have to sleep in your car. You're gonna have to pee out here. You're gonna have to lay down with the car off, unless you can run your battery for 27 hours or run your engine and not run out of gas. So think about those situations. Think about if you get lost and stuck somewhere, get 2 flat tires, you don't have one spare. I think too much about this, but then there's so many times that I go out or even ride with somebody, I don't have my purse. I should take my purse because it also has my meds in it. I don't have my purse. I don't have, I have this EpiPen that fits in this purse. Make sure I don't fall over it. It's probably expired. I think I just got a new one. Oh my god, it's expired. April 22. Really, Mia? Right, this needs to be replaced. It's over a year old. This needs a carrier. This should be carried at all times. But I'm not very smart. I've tried so many times to be able to carry my iPad in a purse. But I need to carry my medicine, even if it's like you get a water bottle holder. I'm gonna go. This has got me riled up, and I'm not speaking loud enough for you to hear me. So the news I'll look up will be the temporary government shutdown, not shutting down until, or they're gonna have January and February. Last I heard, they passed something and they were waiting for President Biden to go ahead and sign it. And I don't know what the news is from that. And it's these temporary budget thingies, and I know why, because they want their holiday. I'm not positive, but I know that I have a feeling they want it. That's it for the check-in and the kind of idea of what I want to do for the news, except I want to stay more focused and pull up the articles in advance so I don't have to freak out about the sound coming on and cause me copyright issues. So I'll work on that. It is now tea time. I do have about an hour to do some more work, and I've got stacks of work, and this is the time of day that I start saying, hey, maybe I should get out and run my errands before it gets too late. But be safe whether you celebrate these holidays, including Thanksgiving, or not. There's still a lot of people out and about. There's still a lot of people celebrating. there should be a lot of joy in dealing with whether you live alone or have family or don't, or live with people or celebrate or not. There can be something to say about having a day off of work, but so many people don't have a day off. The hospitals don't close, the gas stations don't close. So being friendly, being patient, all the displays for the holiday foods are up. All I wanted to eat is cake and brownies. I'm about to go cut some apples and try to figure something out there, but what can you do to maintain a budget? What can you do to maintain your waistline but still enjoy your life and be a part of something that's celebrated nationally? And what about Black Friday? I thought I could save up to get a new laptop, and I'm like, wow, that's in a week. Yikes. Peace. Take care, y'all.